Hey, this is Brenda Meller. I'm back again today for another LinkedIn profile mini audit, and I'm joined today by Jenny. Is it Morin? I should have asked you your pronunciation before we
Morin.
started, Jenny.
Yep, it's Morin.
All right, well, great to see you, Jenny. And we're both fellow Innovation Women members, so I'll give a shout out to Bobby Carlson and all the great women through that organization. And as we get started here today, Jenny, why don't you take a minute, tell us your name, what do you do, and who do you help?
Okay, so I'm Jenny Morin. My business name is Efficient Spaces. I help usually busy professional women or executives that are overwhelmed and need to get reclaim some time for themselves, need some balance, need to be able to walk away because they're working too hard. They're overwhelmed. They're feeling like they don't have any me time. They're feeling like they're working way too many hours. And not only that, but they're feeling the stress and the crunch of that. And that is making them unhappy. So I help people with managing their tasks and doing it in a way that they can still have free time, they can still have white space and time to focus on the things that they really want.
Wonderful. And you also do public speaking. Is it on the same types of topics, productivity and time management, or is it something different?
Yes, I do. I have a time management workshop that's called Make Time Your Ally. And it's a full day workshop, very beneficial for a lot of the businesses that I've presented it to. One man even said, a business owner told me that it's saved his organization thousands of dollars in lost
Mm.
productivity because he has 30 employees and they
Sure.
all learned how to be more productive and waste less time and really capitalize on that time that they have when they're working. So, and I
Wonderful.
speak to other audiences about productivity and habits and mindset as well. So,
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to pull your LinkedIn profile up here on screen. And as I'm doing so, Jenny, I always like to start with, are there any specific questions that you have about your LinkedIn profile that you'd like me to address? Or would you be open to some general feedback? Let me know which option you prefer.
I am open to general feedback. I just want to know, I feel like it looks pretty professional, but I think I could definitely jazz it up to make my profile more noticeable and to make it more me, because right now it's just my logo and a picture of me. I did retool my description after I took your webinar. And so I'm hoping that that's good, but I know everything can always use work. So why don't we
Okay.
just go top to bottom, Brenda?
All right. Cool. So I'll give you a couple different pointers and tips in here for today. And the great thing is, Jenny did attend the Innovation Women's session where I did a LinkedIn for Speakers presentation. And I covered, gosh, it was probably 7 to 9 tips in that session. So she's already got a little bit of a running start. And she admitted to me in the pre-show she's done some, but maybe not all of the different areas. So we'll kind of focus on that. And that will be supporting your speaking business, but also supporting your productivity business as well. Is that what you're looking for? Speaking and productivity?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mostly this is a place for speaking,
Hmm.
but I want to also be known as an expert in time management because that's what I speak
Okay.
about. And I do a lot of coaching. So
Okay, good. Now, in the pre-show, we were talking about the fact that you're moving a bit away from what you've been doing for the past 15 years, which is organizing spaces, and that's part of the business name, Efficient Spaces. And there might be a slight pivot to the business name on LinkedIn, and that might be reflected in your LinkedIn profile. Is that correct?
yes, I am toying with another name. Should I say
Mhm.
it? Effective schedules. I have the URL. I've claimed it and bought the, domain name. So I could move to that
Mhm.
and still and it would reflect better what audience I'm looking for in like LinkedIn. So do you think that
Yeah.
would be a good idea?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, sometimes we get so tied to what we used to do and for people looking at your LinkedIn profile, they only know who you are today. They don't know what you used to do. So if they come to your profile and they see efficient spaces, they might kind of, do the head tilt a little bit. Wait a minute, efficient spaces, is this a time management coach or is this somebody who's focused on organization? So
Mm.
having a LinkedIn banner image that is reflecting the business that you're doing today and the clients that you're seeking for the future, I think absolutely, having that opportunity to change out your banner would be really good. And I want you to
Okay.
think about using that space, that header image space, that banner at the top of your profile, Jenny, to really promote your business. think about that header image as like a billboard on the side of a highway. And you want to think about, when they first land on your profile, I want you to like, as I'm snapping my fingers, like what's the first thing that your eyes are drawn to in that header image at the top? And right now it's the name of the business, Efficient Spaces. What if we were to take the name of the business out and we say time management and productivity? Or even better yet, what if we were to ask a question looking for help with optimizing your time and gaining more hours back in your day? Like that to me might be an even more compelling message to draw in your target audience. What do you think about that?
Hmm. Yeah, I think asking a question uh, is always a good idea. In fact, the promotional material I have, I ask the question, what would you do with an extra hour
Oh, I like that.
every day?
That's very intriguing. Yeah.
So, and now I realize it's actually more than an hour. So I
Mhm.
may even be saying, what would you do with an extra 2 hours of
I love
productivity?
it. Yeah, that's
So,
that right there. It appeals to your ideal target audience. It keeps them reading your profile. It gets them scrolling down in on your profile. So absolutely. All right.
okay.
Next thing that my eye was drawn to is at the top of your profile, we have this white section. It's called your top header card. And in the right-hand side, we're going to see your current employer as well as your most recent education. And right now, Efficient Spaces has this gray building avatar next to it. I'm going to scroll down to your experience section and see. Now, sometimes what we see is logos for other companies, for previous employers and things like that on your profile. I'm going to pop over to my profile just to show you an example of what I'm looking for here. And that is
Mhm.
in your experience section next to your company name, I want to see your company logo. And in order to do that, Jenny, what you're going to need to do is set up a company page on LinkedIn. I want you to know it's free to do so. And the process is actually really easy to do. So I'm going to illustrate it quickly here up on screen where you go to set up the page. And I'll also be putting in the YouTube playback a link with a blog and a video on how to set up a company page on LinkedIn. What
Great.
you'll do to start is in the top menu bar where it says home, my network, jobs, messaging, notifications, just follow that all the way over to that little work waffle. It says for business. And if you
Okay.
click on that and then scroll down to the bottom, you'll see create a company page. Once you do so, all you need to do is click on company and then just fill in the blanks in here. So if you do create a new division of your business, it doesn't have to be an LLC or an S Corp or anything. You can just create the business name. Let's just say it's Jenny Morin Productivity. I'm just making it up. You'd fill that in on the name field. LinkedIn will populate the company page URL. You'll put your website. So if you've got a new domain for your business, you'll pop that in there. You'll fill
Mhm.
in the industry, select the organization size, and type. And then this is an important area, Jenny. You'll have to upload a logo and it has to be 300 by 300 pixels. It's going to be a square version, and I typically recommend that it's an avatar version of your logo. It's not the full logo with your company name and tagline, it's just like an avatar version of it. And then you
Mhm.
can add in an optional tagline of up to 120 characters. I see some people using that as a description of their business. And then you click on I verify I'm a representative, and that's it. Then you've got a business page set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That looks like something I'm going to do right
Yeah,
away.
and the good part about that is once you get that business page set up, then you can link it into your experience section, and then next to your company name will be your logo or that avatar that you've uploaded. And when people click on that, it will take them over to your company page. Now, I'm in as an admin right now, so I'm going to click on view as member so you can see this is what the public would see. If they were visiting my profile and they clicked on the Meller Marketing logo, it takes you over to my business page on LinkedIn. And there's certainly some other information that you can fill out in here, and you can also post from your business page. So it almost
Mhm.
serves as an extension of your profile and almost like a mini version of your website to help to promote your business. And most importantly, it creates legitimacy, Jenny. So when we look at the top of your profile, you see right next to Brigham Young University, it's the BYU logo, and it makes it feel
Right.
like, yep, she definitely went there. When I see efficient spaces with the gray building avatar, it almost reminds me of when you visit a website and it says this website under construction or page not found. So it creates a little
Mhm.
bit of a question mark for people inside there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
something, I knew about the profile, but I don't know if I knew about the business page.
Yeah.
So this is good.
Yeah, a little bonus for you. Okay, next
Mhm.
I'm just going to do a quick once over on your headline. It says too busy to enjoy your success. And I was curious, Joy is all capitalized in there. Is that intentional?
Oh yeah.
Good. Part
I
of your
did.
business branding?
Oh, it's because one of my talks that I do is about joy, to find
Mhm,
your joy. What is it you're missing out
mhm.
on in your life, and how do you make time for it? Make time for your
Okay,
joy.
good.
But, it doesn't have to be there. I just thought it was cute.
I
And if you
liked
could,
it, and it
okay,
drew my
good.
eye to it, and I was curious if it was part of your branding. Now, I do want you to keep in mind everything on your LinkedIn profile, Jenny, should be you speaking to your audience. So one thing I notice in your headline is you say speaker, author, time coach, and office organizer Jenny Morin will guide you. Like you wouldn't say that. You would say I will guide you.
Oh,
So you
okay.
would
So
use the
first
first person on there.
person.
So
Okay,
use,
sure.
yeah, use the first person in there. And I really want you to think about writing your headline in a way that is appealing to your ideal target audience. It's not really about you. It's about you as it relates to how you can help them. So what I
Right.
love about your headline is you begin with too busy to enjoy your success. What I might suggest is instead of saying speaker, author, time coach, and office organizer, maybe that's important, but move that to the end of the headline. Maybe instead lead next with I will guide you to help take back your time. Like give them, the immediate benefit of working with you. What do you think about
Okay.
that?
I think that's great. And,
Yeah.
I thought that it would be good to put, what I did at the beginning,
Mhm.
but I'm totally fine with putting that at the end.
Yeah.
So,
And you could still
yeah.
move them to the end. That way they can see here all the things that you do. You're a speaker, an author, a time coach, an office organizer, all that stuff in
Right.
here. All
Right.
right, let's
Okay.
look next at your about statement. And as I scroll down to your about statement, what I always like to do first, Jenny, is just kind of pause, looking at it on screen. And I don't like to click on see more because I read the statistic like 95% of people will not click on see more. So it's really
Really?
important that we maximize that real estate that we have in the first four lines of the about section. And I don't like to put any line breaks or paragraph breaks in here until after the four lines because I want to make sure that I'm getting the most in those first four lines. And then after the see more break, then I would add some paragraph breaks in here. Now,
Okay. No paragraph breaks.
not until after the Seymour break. Now, what I typically like to see in the first four sentences of your about statement, and you're writing this is not about you, Jenny, it's about you as it relates to your ideal target audience. So, what do
Right.
they need to know about you? Similar to you started your headline with too busy to enjoy your success. I will guide you to help take back your time. What if instead of describing you, experienced productivity consultant, corporate trainer with an emphasis on blah, 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 what if you were to say, are you looking for someone to help you with productivity, with helping you to become more organized and gain control of your life? As a experienced productivity consultant and corporate trainer, I'm experienced with X, Y, and Z. So leading with how you help them or what it is that the problem that you're solving for your audience, and then explaining that you're the guide to lead them there. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. I like that. I
And
think, yeah, I think that's a great idea.
And I have a
So,
formula for an about statement. I'll include that in the YouTube
oh,
as well, so you can see the
okay.
description. But what I like to do is the first four lines is what do you do, who do you help, and what do you help them with, ending with a call to action. So those first four sentences, what do you do, who do you help, what do you help them with, ending with a call to action. And the call to action could be an active call to action, email me at jenny@gmail.com or whatever it is, or it can be a
Mhm.
passive call to action. Visit my website to learn more, where they can kind of go and search around, do a little bit of research before deciding to work with you. So I like to include both an active as well as a passive, because some people are ready to take action right now and they want to get a hold of you. And other people might want to shop around a little bit, figure out, do you have the
Yes.
services I'm looking for, and do a little bit of shopping in there. So do that in the first paragraph. Second paragraph, what I recommend is a description of your company. And I'll just make this
Okay.
up. Jenny Morin Consulting was created to serve busy women executives with productivity and time management. And I also do public speaking on these topics and maybe a bulleted list underneath there. Keeping in
Okay.
mind your about statement, you can actually put 2,600 characters in total in here. So I
Oh,
want you to
wow.
think about most people are only going to read the first four sentences in here. But the right people are actually going to take the time to look through your entire about statement, and they're going to learn more about you and your products and services that you offer. I'm going to pull up my about statement as an example here. So I've maximized those first four sentences. Then when you click on see more, you learn about my company, you learn about my background, and I have a list of the resources that I offer. As a speaker, I always recommend doing a bulleted list of your signature talks to make it super easy for people if they're thinking about booking you as a speaker. Just like in Innovation Women in our Speaker Friend Fridays, we
Yeah.
always start with like, what's your signature talk? Let's not make it hard for people to figure out what do you speak about. Let's list out my signature talks include, like, here's three
Yeah.
topics, right, to draw from inside
Can you
there.
show me how to get the microphone again?
So this is a little hack I'm going to teach you. And are you using
Okay.
a PC or a Mac, Jenny?
PC.
So if you want to use the symbol to access your emoji keyboard, I'm going to send you a message right now to illustrate this on screen. From your PC, I want you to click on the Windows key and the period, and it will pull up your emoji keyboard. And then you simply start typing in the word or phrase for the emoji. So I'm going to type in the microphone symbol and then just close out of that pop-up. And that is how you get it to appear in there. So again, it's the
Okay.
Windows symbol, which is on the lower left-hand
Yep.
side of your
Yep.
keyboard, the Windows
Hmm.
symbol and period, and that will pop up the emoji um, pop-up box so you can grab those emojis from the desktop there.
Okay. Thank you.
There you
I
go.
love
No
that.
problem. All right, wonderful. I want to wrap up our conversation here today, Jenny, and give you a couple things to work on here. Was this helpful for you today?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
All right.
And, I was hoping that this call would get me motivated to keep working on it. Since I had this other class that lasted 8 weeks, I didn't really work on it very much, except for that initial burst of energy I got after the webinar.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, this is great. And I am motivated to do it because, just even having a template for me is
Yes,
very helpful. And I regularly kind of I'm not going to say copy, but I regularly look at what kind of things people put first and then what they put second,
absolutely.
on
Yeah.
their website. When I'm building my website, I did that. And when I do any kind of marketing, I like to see what people are doing and what's really working. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
And I like to think of it as it's not copying. You're not going to, copy and paste verbatim, but
No,
I think
no.
there's certain formulas to success that are
Yeah.
out there. And why not learn from people that are doing it, already, that are already out there, that are well established and that are successful. And I like to think of it as research and inspiration. So you're doing
Yeah.
research, what are others doing? And then you're gaining inspiration from them. And then I think the important thing is you're just not copying and pasting, but you're modifying it to fit your personality and to help to reach your ideal target audience, if that makes sense.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And so I think that I've definitely gotten some inspiration, and it helps to know the technical steps too for me,
Yeah.
since I'm not super technically gifted, as many people in my life will tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that. And
Well,
it's
it's a pleasure chatting with you here today, Jenny. And I want to just thank everyone, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in the podcast later. Well, first of all, I should spell Jenny's profile. Let me share that back up on screen real quick. If you want to visit her profile, if you're listening to this on the podcast, go to linkedin.com/in/Jenny Morin. That's JENNY and you can see her profile up on screen. And if you are interested in getting a LinkedIn profile mini audit, go to mellermarketing.com/list and you'll download a copy of my 15 LinkedIn profile tips for coaches and consultants. Watch the emails that you get from me because the very last email will contain a link where you can book an audit as well. With that said, take care, everyone, and thanks again, and we will see you on LinkedIn.